You know, in the last couple of weeks, there have been a number of things that I believe have been quite prophetic, and I mean direct prophetic. And if there's ever a time that you need to pay attention as to what is going on, no, I'm not talking about the U.S. election for president, but I am talking about what's going on in Israel. And if you follow my website or my YouTube channel over the last number of years, you know that I stay directly on the path of what is biblical. I try to stay out of all the hype and all the extra biblical prophecy, things that supposedly people think are prophetic but simply are not. And I try to stay strictly on what I believe will ultimately get us to the rapture of the church and into the tribulation period. In one article that I reported a number of days ago, sent to me by one of my reporters, is that there is a fear that President Obama is about ready to support the French peace initiative. And this is what the article basically says. It says, House Foreign Affairs Committee Chairman Ed Royce expressed concern on Sunday that the Obama administration is preparing to support an initiative at the United Nations on the Middle East peace process. Addressing the Jerusalem Post annual conference in New York, Royce, a Republican from California, said he did not believe that parameters for peace outlined at the United Nations, an initiative led by the French government, would include a demand for security for the Jewish state. Previous administrations have opposed action at the United Nations as an imposed effort upon the two parties to the conflict, counterproductive to the pursuit of a negotiated peace settlement. My concern is that the administration might allow this French initiative to go forward, Royce said. At least two resolutions are currently under the pen related to the decades-old conflict, one being spearheaded by France and the other by the Palestinian Authority. The Palestinian draft would have the Security Council state its opposition to Israel's settlement activity in the West Bank, a position held by each individual permanent member of the Council. The Paris-led initiative would have the Security Council outline parameters of a two-state solution. Israel fervently opposes both efforts. And you know, that may very well be where the belief that this peace proposal that will come through the Antichrist will be a confirmed and made strong peace covenant, that both the Antichrist and the Security Council will set the parameters of the two-state solution. You know, it may come down to it that the powers that be will force Israel to fit into the box that they create. And going on with the article, it says the White House said last year it is willing to review its policy toward the conflict in the United Nations, and it has yet to explicitly rule out such an approach. So it certainly wouldn't surprise me if Mr. Obama, between now and his time to leave, that he does not veto these two resolutions that are right now in the U.S. Security Council. Well, that's one half of the coin that I believe will lead us to an ultimate peace agreement between Israel and the Palestinian Authority and the Arab world. And let me just say one thing about this, is that if you are a member of my alert list on my website, you have heard about this story days ago. Many times I will send out articles that I simply don't send to anyone else unless you are a part of that. So if you want to stay on the cutting edge, I would probably recommend that you go to my website and subscribe to our alerts. But as I said, here's the second article that I believe is going to be very prophetic, and it says and this is from the Times of Israel. And it says former British Prime Minister Tony Blair said Sunni Muslim countries are ready to normalize ties with Israel should Israel negotiate a peace deal with the Palestinian Authority on the basis of the Arab Peace Initiative. The Arab Peace Initiative, first proposed in 2002 and reaffirmed in recent years, calls for full normalization between Israel and the Arab world in exchange for an Israeli withdrawal from the West Bank and Golan Heights. It would include land swaps, the establishment of a Palestinian state, and a negotiated agreement on Palestinian refugees. Israel has never formally responded to the proposal. As many of you know, Mr. Blair used to serve as the quartet representative to try to bring peace to the Middle East. And his success, it didn't really catch on, so he kind of backed away for that. But in recent weeks, he had unsuccessfully worked with the ruling Israeli Likud party and opposition Zionist Union Party to form a unity government that would advance the peace process, according to Haaretz newspaper. He also worked with Sisi to support the talks, and Mr. Sisi, as you know, is the Egyptian president. Providing the Israeli government is ready to commit to a discussion around the Arab Peace Initiative, it would be possible to have some steps of normalization along the way to give confidence to this process, said Blair. With the new leadership in the region today, that is possible. A lot will depend on the response of the Israeli government to President Sisi's initiative and to the Arab Peace Initiative, and to whatever steps the Israelis are ready to take. Blair added that we need to broaden the support base for the peace process. We need the help of the region. The door between Israel and the Arab states is now closed, and the key is progress with the Palestinians. An Israeli TV program report last week said that Arab leaders were prepared to consider changes to the initiative if necessary. The Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu was said to have told Sisi he seeks to make progress on regional ties. And certainly that will be a key to whether or not this will progress or whether it will stall. Once again, is that whether or not they can make some concessions such as right of return and the Golan Heights and a few other necessary items that probably are unsaid. So the bottom line is we'll have to wait and see how far this will actually go, but I believe that this is not just another dead end. I do believe that Israel is under a lot of pressure, especially with Mr. Obama threatening to reevaluate his direction that he would like to take and his administration would like to take regarding vetoes of resolutions that simply aren't in Israel's favor. I don't think I can hope that he will leave office without doing something that will hurt Israel further. That's why I believe that it's time to increase the number of languages that my Tribulation Period Survival Guide will reach for free. As I told you in previous videos, that my goal is to at least have half the world's population to be able to read my Tribulation Period Survival Guide, download it, and that all for free. And if you would like to be a part of this translation effort, you can still do so. You can either go to my website and email me at calvaryprophecy.com, and I can give you instructions on how to make a donation, or you can go to PayPal and type in my account number. Of course, you go to the send area, but type in my account email number, which is calvaryp@calvaryprophecy.com, and I'll also put it on the screen, and put in the amount of money that you would like to donate. I hope to have all of these languages translated by the end of the summer, or actually even before then. So if you'd like to get in on this project, please do so by contacting me. I can give you the instructions that you need, or go to PayPal. And certainly if you don't know the Lord, today is the day of salvation. Don't put it off. 150,000 people die every single day. The Bible says that the vast majority of them will end up in a burning hell. You simply don't want to make that mistake. Once you make it, it's over with. That's why it's critical that you come to the Lord today. Don't put it off. And secondly, you Christians know that there are going to be people who are going to be left behind to go through the tribulation period. You need to get them a copy of my Tribulation Period Survival Guide. Again, there's the free copy that you can download, and it reads just like the one that is the paperback book. And it's free to anybody who wants to download it. And right now it's in 3 different languages: English, Spanish, and Mandarin Chinese. So if you wish to download it, you can take it to a print shop and have it printed out and give it to your lost loved one, or you can purchase the paperback book, which is actually cheaper than taking it down to the print shop. In fact, I've had my Tribulation Period Survival Guide printed out after I've downloaded it for free, and it cost me about $11 or $12. With the paperback version that I have already created and has been published, that would be about $8. So if you want to make that investment, I would encourage you to do so. Well, this is Terry Malone with the Calvary Prophecy Report.